All right, so this will be a real quick video. I'm not going to go through and actually model the entire arm in front of you, but I will show you how it's done and the kind of the key elements of the arm. So if I go into edit mode, you can see that my arm is already there, and it's pretty simple. But as of this point, your arm is probably, if I delete those and hide that. Actually, let's do this. We'll just hide all of that. Okay, so your torso and hand are probably looking something like this. The first kind of important thing to note is that the arm hole up here is 12 verts, and the hand down here is 12 verts as well. If they aren't equal, there are ways that you can get them to be equal. You can either add geometry up here, you can add it down at the hand, you can do a diamond quad and terminate some edge loops that way. Whatever you need to do to get them to match up, but easiest way is just to make sure that they are the same number from the start. But once you have that, then it's really just a simple matter of extruding. I extruded, yeah, I think I will actually delete this now. I know I'm jumping back and forth. Okay. So extrude the opening from the front view. Extrude, I scaled it down, kind of moved it into place. And if you still have your reference images available, which I don't appear to have them currently loaded. Let's see if I can find it real quick. So I found my reference, and now you can see it. I might move it forward a little bit. Okay, so I'll get the joint to about where the elbow should be, and then I will add in an edge loop in the middle of the bicep, and then just start kind of shaping how the bicep should look and feel. One kind of key thing to note is on the arm, generally the tricep is actually the larger muscle, not the bicep. So if you want your guy to look strong, it's the tricep. So I'll scale that up a little bit. There's usually a little bit of a hollow here. Whoops. And these will have to be smoothed out a bit. Once you get this more or less in the spot that you want it, and I encourage you to look up anatomy references to get a more accurate sense of how the arm is supposed to look, because I certainly don't have a natural and complete anatomy knowledge. But once you get the top of the arm set up, the only tricky part really is getting the twist in the lower forearm. The lower arm is actually made up of two bones, the radius and the ulna. And you'll notice if you hold your arm out with the palm up and then rotate so palm down, your arm develops a twist. And so that's what we want to simulate for this. So I'm going to briefly hide my hand and select this edge loop that's at my elbow. I will extrude it down roughly to where the wrist is going to be. I'll scale it. And now I want to add that twist. So I'm going to select just this bottom edge loop selected. I'm going to rotate my view so I'm kind of looking down the barrel of the forearm. Okay. And then I'm going to, from this view, just hit R, and I'm going to rotate it about 40 degrees, I think. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it seems to feel pretty good for me. And then I will scale it along the y-axis to kind of get that shape. And now as I rotate back, you can see that we've got a fairly natural feeling twist to the forearm. Then at this point, it's just an issue of putting everything in its right place. If I unhide the hand, move this forward a little bit. You can add in edge loops where you need to define the forms. It's good to add an edge loop on either side of the elbow. That way the elbow will deform a little bit more naturally. Maybe bring these two verts in to define the kind of the crook of the elbow. And the same thing on the opposite side. Maybe bring these two out. If you really want to define the elbow kind of bone a little bit better, you can select the faces and inset them. Then if I hit, let's see, no, there we go. Do that, and then you can select these faces and scale them out just a little bit. And then you'll need some smoothing to get the shape right, of course, but that's how you can add the detail to the elbow that you need. The elbow is, or the shape of the forearm gets a little thicker on the top here. And again, I'll do this with connected proportional editing on. And then thickest part of the elbow right here. Okay, and you start to get a sense of that arm. Now, the bicep is a little ridiculous looking at this point. So I might bring these in. Actually, the whole bicep is way too large. But that's how I did the arm. And then if I just go back to where I was. Okay, it doesn't take a whole lot of geometry to get the form that you need. I did also, on the back of the tricep, I added one more edge loop, and I brought it to a point right here to kind of form that diamond shape that you'll see in triceps a lot, particularly the more fit triceps, more healthy or strong, I guess. But yeah, that's the arm. It's a pretty simple thing. Just find reference and spend some time with it. And then at the hand, it's just selecting the opposing edges, and you can merge them. So W, merge at center or last. You could also add a little distance and then just select the two edges and W, bridge edge loops. So a couple of different ways that you can join the hand together depending on your own particular needs.